Alright guys, so here's the problem 35 from last night's homework from the workbook. I'm just setting it up. 600 is the hypotenuse. The round trip from A to B to C is back to A is 1,400 miles. So from B to C back to A is simply 800 miles if you subtract. Let me pause here. So I got the 800 by doing 1,400, the total, minus the hypotenuse, 600, which is 800. So what I'm doing over here on the left side is since 800 is the total, if I assign x as one of the legs, then 800 minus x has to be the other leg, because the total adds up to 800. So whatever x is, let's say x is going to be 200, then we have to take away 200 from 800 to get 600, if that was the case. But we don't know what it is, so that's why we have x, and then we're going to take away from 800, so 800 minus x would be the other side. So Pythagorean theorem is what we use. We set it up. I'm going to slow this down a bit here. I'm simply putting a as x, b is going to be 800 minus x, and c is 600. So I put x squared, I simplified, and over on the right side you're going to see me starting to simplify the 800 minus x squared. 800 minus x squared is really a binomial being multiplied twice. So you see on the right side right here me showing the multiplication. Again, this is just me multiplying it out. You can pause the video at any time. It's distributive property twice, FOIL method, first outside, inside last. So you get this big answer over here, 640,000 minus 1600x plus x squared. What you're going to see me do next is simply substitute this entire section right here. I'm just going to go ahead and replace it over here. Again, this was just my work section, so I'm just going to replace it over here so that you can see the worked out solution. So here you go, just rewriting. And once we get that done, we're going to combine like terms. So you can already see that the x squareds on the left side over here will combine, so that's 2x squared. 1600x negative comes next, and I'm going to move the 360,000 to the left side. So when I do that by subtraction, I'm going to get 280,000 equals 0. From here, you're going to see me divide out a common factor of 2, just because it's always best to make sure that your first term, x squared, is a coefficient of 1. That way you don't have to worry about big numbers like 1,600 and 280,000. So even when we divide by 2, you're going to see 1,600 become 800 and 280 become 140. Much easier to work with. You're going to have to use the quadratic formula, so you're going to see it written here on the side. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I wrote it out here for you to look at. Now I'm going to solve it over here. So we'll slow the video down a little bit. So x equals 800 because it's the opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of negative 800 squared minus 4 times 1 times c, which is 140,000. If you're not sure how I got the 1 right here, that's because the value of a at this point, when I divided the 2 out, the value of a, which is in front of x squared, is now a 1 because I divided the 2 out. Had I not divided the 2, you'd see a lot bigger numbers inside this quadratic formula. Anyway, let's continue. All over 2 times 1, because that's the value of a. So 800 plus or minus the square root of 640,000 minus 560,000 all over the number 2. So simply we just subtract, right, quadratic formula, subtract the discriminant, the square root portion. So you get 80,000 inside all over 2. And we're just going to take the square root of 80,000, which is around 282.8, I rounded. And when you add 800 and 282, you're going to get 541.4. And then when you subtract and then divide by 2, you're going to get 258.6, which if you add the 2 up, they make 800, which is our grand total for the 2 legs anyway. So that's how you find the answer. Hope this video helped out. If you have any more questions, just email me. I'll try to answer you as soon as I can. Remember, I got 2 little kids, and they love me. So we'll see how quickly I get back to you. All right. yeah, it seemed to work out pretty well. Now I'm just rambling. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.